Breaking news in college football, Louisville finalizing a deal to hire Purdue coach Jeff Brohm as its next head coach. That's according to our Dennis Dodd. The Action Network reporting Brohm has informed his players at Purdue that he is leaving for Louisville. He replaces Scott Satterfield, who took the head coaching job at Cincinnati. Brohm returns to take the reins at his alma mater, where he played quarterback from 1989 to 1993, later returned as an assistant, eventually rising to offensive coordinator. In 2017, Brohm became the head coach at Purdue. He led the Boilermakers to the Big Ten title game this season, where they lost, of course, to college football playoff semifinalists, Michigan. All right, so let's bring in college football writer Dennis Dodd for more on this. Dennis, reports say the deal is probably for 6 years, around $35 million. He's expected to be unveiled on Thursday. A return home for him, as we mentioned, inducted into their Ring of Honor in 2006. All the accolades are there. As a head coach, what does he bring to this Louisville program?
Well, a sense of settlement, I guess, now that Scott Satterfield left. 3/4 of the way through the season, Scott Satterfield was on our hot seat list. Didn't know which way that was going to go. He got hot at the end of the year and then obviously took the Cincinnati job. But this is really a return home for Jeff Brohm, one of the all-time players at Louisville, played for Howard Schnellenberger, was the quarterback in that famous 1991 Fiesta Bowl where Louisville beat Alabama, which really put modern Louisville football on the map, and has served his time at Western Kentucky and Purdue. Well accomplished at Purdue. To me, guys, it was only a matter of time before he returned to Louisville. I think his heart was there, and no one at Purdue can be really upset with him. Back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in 06-07, winning 9 and 8 games. Played for a Big Ten title, obviously, this year, and leaves a great legacy. Leaves the program in great shape. So, great for Purdue, great for Louisville, and I think Louisville, actually, if you want to think about it, a better path to the playoff and a 12-team playoff than Purdue, maybe, where we know Louisville has a reputation, or at least a legacy, of going 10-2, 9-3. That will get you to the playoff in the future. It'll be a little harder for Purdue to do that in the Big Ten.
How do you expect him to not just energize the program, but also the fan base?
They'll welcome him with open arms. I mean, this is a program that is obviously desperate to be relevant in an ACC, which is kind of slotted with their revenue where they are, which is about $50 million behind the SEC and the Big Ten. There's a lot of conferences like that right now, but I think he'll bring enhanced recruiting. I think he'll get a lot of players there, and even in the last week, we've seen how teams can transform themselves. Even with Colorado, we've seen this year with USC and TCU making a run. I think that's the kind of juice he brings to Louisville. I'm purely speculating, but I would look for an Austin Reed from Western Kentucky, where he used to coach, the quarterback there, maybe to enter the portal and end up at Louisville. So there's going to be a lot of changes, I think, at Louisville in the short term, and they're going to be really, really good in the future.
Now, they haven't had a 10-win season since 2013 when they were back in the American. This program, I mean, they've had a bit of a revolving door at the head coach position. I mean, last week they lose to Jim Harbaugh and Michigan. Jim Harbaugh, a guy who went home to Michigan and has taken that program to success, given it a little bit of time. Do you think maybe he had a conversation with Harbaugh after the game? I mean, what kind of stability is he going to provide for this program now?
Harbaugh's on a different planet. I don't know what he's going to do from day to day. So I don't know if they talked about this job. But no, it is stability. He gets $5.8 million a year. I think Purdue could have matched that. I don't think they had an appetite to. They're higher resourced every day of the week than Louisville. Pretty soon they're going to be one of those Big Ten schools bringing in $100 million a year in media rights. So there's that, but there's also the shot, I mentioned it, a closer shot or a closer play at the playoff, closer to getting in the playoff, coming home, the comfort factor, and being able to turn the program around pretty quickly.
College football writer Dennis Dodd joining us from Las Vegas. He's attending a conference. He steps outside to break the Jeff Brohm news and then discuss it with us here on HQ. Dennis, get yourself back inside. Thanks for joining us for this. And of course, you may see sirens in your feed. It's the Jeff Brohm move, sirens in the feed. I mean, Chip Patterson is the one who's going to know, right? If you see the sirens in your feed, you know exactly what that means. They're going to be talking about this on the Cover 3 podcast. Lots of stuff to talk about, certainly in college football today. You can download and follow the Cover 3 wherever you get your podcast audio. You can also scan that QR code right now.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.